Want to do an update on the planning of the iterations for this pergola. I've gone through several different iterations. I've watched a ton of YouTube videos, done some research, and ultimately I am going to put sonnotubes in the ground. So cardboard tubes in the ground, fill it with concrete, and then put an anchor in there for the 4x4s. So I have 2 holes started right now. I changed it so it's 4 feet wide and then 12 feet long. So that's 48 square feet. And then having the 3 back ones will ensure that it can hold the solid wall that I want. So that is what I'm ending up with. And then these 4x4s are going to be cut in half, and these things are going to be put over there for the fencing that is going to separate that entrance area over there. So this is where the fence panel is going to be. Straight there, over, and then over. I had this reed fencing up and it just looked so tacky and terrible. So I'm just going to do the 4-foot post with the 6-foot picket. That way there's going to be a wall there, there's going to be a little bit wall there, and then a wall there. Rebel here is an eye ulcer, so I've been running around trying to take care of him with his eye ulcer. And then Gus here is going to get a haircut tomorrow, and he got some mats in his ears that I have to take out, otherwise they're gonna shave him, and I don't want him shaved. He's a Shih Tzu, not a Chihuahua. One little update on the pond. I have not seen any dead rosy red minnows. So all 9 of the originals should still be in there. I did some research on them, and there's people that keep them that use flower pots for them to spawn. So I'm hoping that it will help them with that. The other thing is they eat algae, and there's a lot of algae missing from the bottom of this pond and around the pots for the water lilies. So they have been hard at work. And I still feed them fish flakes once a day. Also, I have not put the cover to cut out sunlight, because water is still a good sort of cold temperature. Now I need to come in here and trim all these yellow leaves here, but the other thing is I'm debating getting a koi. Problem with that is then I would have to overwinter it inside, and it's almost the end of August, so I would have to start it overwintering probably in November. Versus I could put these minnows in like a 10 or 20 gallon tank over winter with an air stone and a filter. Although my parents have to have a 55 gallon that my father and I bought years and years ago for some Oscars that he rescued from work, and then he never used it. Oh, you can see all the fish. See, when I come over by the pond, all the fish scatter and hide. And then when I sprinkle the flakes in, I have to walk away, and I can see them all come up to the surface. But maybe with the lack of sunlight, I'm not as visible to them right now. So this is the first time I actually get to sit next to the pond and see them being active. The other thing I wanted to point out is all of my plants are doing well. This elephant ear is doing well. These aren't regular impatiens, these are sun patients. Those are doing well. These water grasses are doing well. And then this hosta is doing well. And then over here you can see, so this is the Prince Tut, and this is the King Tut. Here, you can see the height difference. And then the elephant ear. And then here, the canna. I just took a canna bulb and just put it in there. And it's doing well. And then I put some mahogany splendors that are still in pots. Because that's what I did last year. I had 2 mahogany splendors in the pond, in their pots. And they're doing well. So I have an update on my carrots. I harvested all of my carrots that I put in the ground, and they were all bent and sort of misshapen. I mean, they were still harvestable, but they were all bent and misshapen. And so what I learned was that you need to direct sow the seeds, because the roots on the carrots are so sensitive. And so let me show you something else. So this is how I got my carrots this year. I got 2 containers of carrots that were already sort of sprouted. So I took them out of one of these and put them around. And they're all like bent. They're all bent like this and gnarly. But then in here, they're all perfectly straight like they're supposed to be. Try and pull one out if I can. Okay, so I pulled one out of the pot, and look, it's perfect. It's not gnarly and bent like the other ones. So you have to direct seed it. You have to start it from seed for it to be straight and nice. And then of course the dogs love these. Well, Gus does. Rebel's teeth aren't so good for carrots anymore. And I wanted to show you my beets. Well, these are baby beets. So they're supposed to be small. I love beets so much. Regular beets, pickled beets, delicious. And technically they're like a 50-55 day plant. So I could replant them now and sort of take the risk for the second crop. Over here I did plant some cucumber and pole bean seeds right here. So I'm waiting for those. Here you can see the wonky carrots I got. Some of them were just too wonky to harvest. Direct sow. Wanted to show you some of my harvest so far. I picked some carrots. All of my carrots are wonky and disfigured. All of my beans, my pole beans and my bush beans, you can see that all of the purple color from the bush beans comes off when you cook them. Tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, I picked my first green bell pepper, and then I pulled some beets. So that's exciting. That's the first time I've grown beets from seed. We're starting today with some of the boring parts of gardening, which is weeding. Wish me luck.